guys. So my name is Scott, and for those of you who don't know me, one major part of my testimony that I'll be talking about today regards unicycling. So I've been unicycling since I was 9. I got it for my 9th birthday, and I've been unicycling since. And it's sort of like a extreme sport, like skateboarding or BMX. Is that sort of thing. And so I had been practicing for a while, getting better, and part of the culture is just making these kind of like edits, like you'd see skate edits and stuff like that. It's kind of like the same thing. So I had been making edits for a long time, like all through learning how to unicycle and getting better at it and getting to be like one of the better people in America at it. And so eventually this led up to last summer. I was working on another video part, kind of like I've done before, but it had been a while. So it had been like 4 years since I last released a video, and for myself, like my expectations were high for it. And so I filmed over the whole summer, was super happy with where it was at, and had this whole concept to go with it. I just wanted to bring back kind of an old style of editing stuff. It wasn't that deep or anything. So I got through the summer filming for that, and then I kind of had a realization that God wanted me to go in a different direction. And I didn't really know why, and I didn't know what that direction was, but I knew that I had to follow it. So towards the fall, I changed that concept, and I had a slight direction of knowing where it was going. But for me, that was very frustrating because I'm a very creative person. I like to know where the vision is headed before I execute on it. And I really just didn't know. I was following God's plan. So that kind of frustration continued for a while. And on top of that, I started to go through one of the toughest periods of my life with depression. And I had dealt with depression for a lot of my life, but that fall was significant because it didn't feel prompted by anything. It didn't feel like there was a physical thing I could change to make anything better. And I was just questioning why God had led me in this place where I was in the worst mental state of my life and also had this video, which I knew the potential was there, but I had no idea where to go from it. And from this place, I just slid farther and farther into that depression. And there was a moment where I considered taking my own life and what that would implicate, just thinking about it as an option rather than a plan or it was just kind of like that could be a viable thing to do if this persists, as a, not even in a sad way. It was just something I was considering. And the one thing that held me back from going any further was knowing that I had been called to make this video and knowing that it wasn't finished. And God had led me to this place where if I didn't have this creative, difficult project that I was working on that He had let stay unfinished, it was just so intentional to lead me there where only God could lead me out through His vision on this video. And so I had to trust in it, and I had to follow it. So as time went on, it honestly didn't get easier to make that video. It wasn't my plan. It wasn't my steps that I was taking. I tried my best to follow the guidance that I got from God. And when I got that guidance, I took that step, and that was about it. It was just rinse and repeat for a long time. And eventually, the filming was done. The editing was, almost there, and the process, again, didn't get easier up until the last few days where I had set the due date for the video. I had been promoting it, everything like that, And video, still, I like didn't know where it was headed. I didn't fully have that vision. And so it finally wrapped up on Thanksgiving Day, and finished the edit, exported it, scheduled it to post, and then was driving home back to the cities to see my parents for Thanksgiving. And I went home and watched the video, and it felt like I was just watching it with fresh eyes, because I had been so close to it, and so just with everything, with my mental state, with everything that had been going on. I didn't even know what the video really looked like, you know? And I watched it with my parents, and we all cried, because it was just this beautiful moment where the plan that God had given me to make the video described exactly the situation I was in a beautiful and creative way that personally I wouldn't be able to do. It was something that only God had, and His vision made it true. And so it's I'm very grateful that I was able to take those steps and execute on ultimately what was God's vision for me. And it was an intentional time. And afterwards, I was worried about the response, because I knew it was vulnerable. But the response was overwhelmingly positive. And it led me to really start kind of an area of ministry in a community that had been unreached mostly. And so it's just kind of a wild, very interesting and unique way that God has used me. And I'm very grateful for it. And I'm continuing to go down that path and see where it leads. So thank you guys for listening.